Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, first and foremost, I want you guys to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware of every single time I go live. If you are new to my channel, I go live Mondays through Saturdays at 4 p.m. for our workout with Nick, and at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our recovery support group meetings. So if you want to get in shape and you need support in your recovery, this is the place for you. I will never fail you guys. Like, I promise you, I'm consistent. I will be on at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If for some reason I don't come on, I will always let you guys know ahead of time. You can check my community tab for updates. If you're someone who really wants to be in the know, you can join my Patreon or my members button. It's only $2 a month and it supports my channel, and you will be a part of our private Hangouts chat and, get all the information that you need to know. So I hope you guys are having a really good day. I have a series on my channel where I talk about my experience with different substances. And so today we're going to talk about crack cocaine. I was going back and forth in my mind on whether or not I wanted to share my experience with crack cocaine because it's such a stigmatized drug. A lot of people look down on people who smoke crack cocaine, call them crackheads and fiends and junkies and all that kind of stuff. And I have to tell you guys, I've never been one to be too good. I've tried every drug there is known to man. I've tried everything that I can think of. And so crack cocaine, I wasn't going to discriminate. I gave crack cocaine its fair try in my life when I was using drugs. And so I want to share with you guys what my first experience was smoking crack cocaine, and then what my experience was once I was a more seasoned crack smoker. So if after you practice for a while, you get better at it. With anything in life, right? Sorry, guys. I was a professional crack smoker. I was also a professional crack shooter. So I'm going to tell y'all all about that. So when I was about 18, 19 years old, I had gotten real bad on cocaine. I was dating a guy who sold it. And so I had cocaine at my fingertips at all times. He sold it in powder form and he sold it in rock form. So I could try it either way. And one of the ways that we started dating was he was giving me cocaine all the time. I was staying at his house. We were partying. And he would basically give me as much cocaine as I wanted. I would spell my name out, Nicole Marie DeMeo, in cocaine, powder cocaine lines. And so I loved the way cocaine made me feel. I loved snorting it. Well, once I figured out how to shoot cocaine, that was a whole new addiction. Shooting cocaine is the strongest rush I've ever felt in my life. It's even stronger than methamphetamine, but the feeling lasts much shorter. I could shoot cocaine and get that rush for 2 minutes, and then I would be back on the grind getting more and loading up another syringe. With methamphetamine, I could shoot a dose and be high for 3 days. But the initial rush of methamphetamines is just as quick as cocaine, but the high lasts much longer, days. And cocaine's high only lasts about 3 to 5 minutes, if that. So once I started shooting up cocaine, me and this guy that I was dating, our relationship was getting pretty rocky because I was going through so much dope, you guys. I was shooting so much of his cocaine that we weren't making profit. He wasn't able to afford to feed my cocaine habit anymore. And so we went our separate ways, and I started just buying it off the street. I was buying it from local dealers that I had known from high school. I was buying it from, people that I had bought other drugs from. Well, that's when I got introduced to crack cocaine, the, rock cocaine. And I had always heard that crack is whack. You don't want to do crack. It's lame. You know, it's only for crackheads. You know, crackheads are lower than us drug addicts, that kind of thing. Well, I mean, if that was the only form of cocaine that was around, I wasn't going to discriminate. So I smoked my first crack rock with this guy named Psycho. He's actually dead now. But I smoked crack with Psycho, and the way that smoking crack cocaine makes you feel, it literally gives you this like rush, and then all of a sudden your ears start going wah, 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 and it's just like, but it all happens so quickly that it's just like so fast, and then you're back on the pipe again. And that's how it was for me and Psycho. We would just be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back on the pipe. Well, one night we were all hanging out, and I had been getting like I said, really bad on the needle. And so all we had was crack cocaine. And so that's when I learned how to break crack down so you could shoot it up. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, lemon juice, this, that, and third. The way I broke crack cocaine down was I sprinkled Kool-Aid on it. And it didn't matter if it was red Kool-Aid, blue Kool-Aid, purple Kool-Aid, whatever Kool-Aid you had in the little Kool-Aid packages, you put you a rock on a spoon with some water and that Kool-Aid, just a little on top, and it will break down the crack cocaine, and it will separate out the baking soda from the cocaine, and then you can shoot up the cocaine. And so after I learned how to do that, that was my preferred method of use, was to shoot cocaine. You know, I didn't want to smoke it because I knew I could get a better, more intense high from shooting it. Well, I went to prison in 2009, and I got out in 2010. And when I got out in 2010, I stayed sober for about 9 months because I paroled out to a halfway house. Well, while I was living at that halfway house, I relapsed on oxys, and that's when I moved in with my friend Tara. I've been thinking about having Tara on my channel, you guys, because I really think if I have her on here, you'll be able to understand a little bit more about the situation, you know, and no, go out. Sorry. You'll be able to understand just where my head was at, where both of our heads were at, what we were like when we were in our addictions. She's sober now, and I'm really proud of her. She is the girl who called Child Protective Services on me, but I forgive her. I forgive her, and we're past that because we're both sober and we're both doing the right thing today. Well, once I relapsed on oxys, I moved in with Tara, and Tara was a very, very, very heavy crack smoker. That's all she wanted to buy. If she was getting drugs, we were buying crack all the time. Now, of course, she would do meth, but for the most part, crack. And the reason why is because her dealer was just right down the street. So she could literally just call him, he would drop off a bag. And so every night when I would get off from work, I would call Black, our dealer, and he would meet me, and I would grab some crack, and I would go back to the house, and we would both bust it down and shoot it up. Well, it was with Tara and this guy named Joe that I like really smoked so much crack that it rang my bells. So I had really never had that happen to me before, maybe just like once or twice, but I was smoking some really, really good, strong crack cocaine. It wasn't cut with a bunch of bullshit. Like it was the real deal crack cocaine. And I was smoking it, and I remember smoking it, and all I could hear was, it was like this muffled, just sound, like almost like they tell you a train is coming, like that. And it was like, it rang my bell, and I was like off and running. My eyes went, and it was just, I was on one.com. Well, since I hit that, realized how good it was smoking it, I was like, fuck this, I'm breaking it down. And so I busted it down, and I cannot tell you guys how many times I've busted down cocaine and shot it up and then crappie flopped. That's what we call it. We call it crappie flopping. It's where you shoot a dose and you fall out because it is so strong that it literally makes you lose your breath. Like I shot that shot of Coke and I went, ah! Bam! bam, and hit the ground. And I had the needle hanging out of my arm. My lips were purple. It was so scary, you guys. But of course, what did I do? That feeling hit, and I thought, I need more. I need more. You know, and so that was my experience with crack cocaine. I was either smoking crack cocaine or shooting crack cocaine. And cocaine in general, I was always shooting it. If I was buying it, I was shooting it. But there was many times I smoked it because that's what everybody else was doing. But it was one of those drugs. Now, I want to talk about this part. It was one of those drugs that I looked at it as like this. The high wasn't worth the price. And see, I'm the kind of person that I like to get a lot for my money. I'm a bargain drug addict. Like, if I'm going to use drugs, I want to get a drug that's going to last a long time, that's going to have legs on it. And so that's why I always turned to methamphetamine and oxys, because I knew if I shot meth, I would be high for a couple days. I knew if I shot oxys, I would be high for at least 6 hours, and then I would shoot another one, you know? And so, or I could shoot multiple ones back to back, and I would be high all day just nodding out on oxys. And so with cocaine, it was just such a short high, but that's how it gets you trapped. Because once you start shooting or smoking cocaine and you get that intense high, your brain forgets about all logic, and it's like, I need to get that again. And so I would go back and go back and go back and go back. You know, a lot of times me and my husband would be together, and if we could not find meth or oxys, we would get crack, and then we would find ourselves going back and going back. We've pawned guns. I've pawned my rings before to get crack cocaine, and every time I would do it, I felt so horrible afterward. That's why I hate crack cocaine, because if my shit wasn't bolted down to the ground, I was going to take it and sell it for crack, for cocaine, either one, because you have to go get more and more and more. You can get $300 worth of crack cocaine and go through it like that. And so $300 worth of methamphetamine, I'm going to be high for like 3 weeks. But not with crack cocaine. It's just as quickly as the high hits, it is gone. And so I really hope that this doesn't trigger anybody. I'm going to put trigger warning at the beginning of the title for anybody that is, you know, early in recovery or just gets triggered easily. That's never my intention with these videos. I just want to share my experience with you guys. And I want you to understand that, like, I lost so much because of cocaine. I almost killed myself many times because of cocaine. I sold myself for cocaine. I traded my body to my dealer for cocaine. And I'm not proud of that at all. But that's how desperate I was. That's how down and out on myself I was. I would never do that today, but back then I did. And I have stories on my channel about it where, you know, I was with my dealer. He was damn near 600 pounds. Rest in peace. He's passed away now. But I was desperate. I was desperate. And that's what drug addiction does to you. I know you ladies can relate. It makes you desperate to the point where you'll do anything to get it. So please don't, you know, go out. Please don't be discouraged or get triggered by these videos. I just want to share these experiences with you guys. I'm not promoting this drug addiction. I don't want you guys to go out and use. I want you guys to understand that that drug ruined my life. And like I said, the high produced by it was so strong that it would keep me coming back and coming back and coming back. So if you haven't gotten high on cocaine or crack cocaine, don't ever try it, because it'll take your life from you. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys at 4 for our workout video and at 7 for our recovery support group.